Welcome back, Math 20-2. Today we are starting statistics. And here we are going to do just first a quick review of some definitions. And to start that off, we're going to do the measure of central tendency. So we have, the measure of central tendency is another way of saying averages. So we have three different types of averages here, a way of finding our averages. The first one is the most common one, and that is our mean. Now, there are two types of mean we look at. They're calculated the exact same way, but they have different notations. So when we use this mu, the Greek word for mu, we're only looking at population. So to find the mean of a population, it's another way of an average. So when you add them all up and divide by how many there are. Now, if we're looking at a sample, the mean of a sample, we're going to use this x with a bar on top. All right? So if it's the whole population, we use mu. If it's just a sample, we use x with a bar on top. They're calculated the exact same way, it's just so we know if, hey, are they using the whole population or if they're just using part of the population. And the mean is calculated once again, like I said earlier, by adding all the data values together and then dividing by the number of data values. Our next one is median. Median is your middle number. It's your most middle. So sorry about that. So the median is determined by sorting all the data from normally largest to smallest, or from smallest to largest, so in a numerical order. And then what you do is you find the middle number of that. So you want the middle of those numerical order. So if there's an odd number, it's easy. It's that middle data value. Now if there's an even number, we take the two middle data values, add them together, and then divide them by 2. So it's kind of like finding the mean of the two middle numbers if it is even. Okay? The next one is mode. Mode is simple. Mode is your most common one. That's it. Think of MO, most common. The MO and most, MO and mode, most common. So whichever one is repeated the most, that is going to be our mode. Our median, think of med, it's kind of like middle. There's a D in it, like middle. Mean is just your average. Right? You have to add them all up and divide. So here we have some examples on how to find mean, mode, and median. So the first one says, we have the data below the data below represents time taken to the nearest minute for a high school student to drive to school on each of the 10 last school days. So calculate the driving mean for the data. So we want to find the driving mean. So for this one here, we're going to add them all up. Okay, then we're going to divide by how many there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we divide that by 10. So when we add these up, I'm going to have, right there is 30. Here's 60, 90, 90, 100, 120, 128. 128 divided by 10 is 12.8 is my mean. And since it's the only last 10 days of school, well, we have to use, it's just a sample space, it's not every day. So we're going to use this one here. It's just a sample, it's not the whole population. So state the mode of the data. Now mode is, again, most common. So which one's the mode? Well, what's the most common? I have only 111. It's not going to do that. 10. Only 110. 119. 116. Oh, I have 215. So far 15. 114, 113, 112, 117. So my mode is 15 because it's the only one repeated. Next one is Hideki's unit test mark in English 20 and Math 20 are given below. So these are her test marks. Calculate the median mark for each of the subjects. So the median is the middle mark. So first thing we must do is I'm going to rearrange your math marks from smallest to largest. So 58 is my smallest. Next is going to be, well, I look at this, 65. Then what are we going to have? 67. Next is going to be 71. After that, I have, two 78s. And then what do we have left? Only an 80. Okay? Now we want to find the middle of this. Well, how many marks do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 marks. It's perfect. So we just find the middle number. Well, I'm going to cancel off from each side first. Just go like that. So 71 is my mode. My mode is 71. Next one says math 20. Okay, so here we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. So we're going to probably have to take a mean for this. Okay, so our median is 71 for the first one. This is just the middle one. So we have to take a mean of our 2 middle numbers. So let's take a look at this. Here, what's our lowest? Well, this person's good at math, 72. Cross it off, so I'm done with it. The next lowest is 74. Then, I missed 61. 61 is the lowest. Oops. And then we have 78. Okay, after 78, we have 84. Then we have 86. Okay, now let's start canceling this off. If we look at that, these two here are the middle numbers, so 74 and 78. So we must do an additional calculation. So if I get this, I'm going to end up getting 152 divided by 2, which is going to give me 76. Whoops, ran out of room there. Okay? There we go. Now, here's our class example number 3. Here it says we're going to try and find the mean. I'll just get this a little bit lower in so it's a bit clearer. Find the mean of find the mean of the data. So if the mean of the data is 7, so we know the mean of the data, I'm going to use mu here because I'm going to say this is everything, is equal to 7. Then we want to find the value of this x. So then, the data is equal to, mean is equal to all the numbers added together. I'll just put it right here. x2 plus blah, 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 all the way to xn, all divided by n. The reason why I use this formula is we have first value, second value, all the way to the last value, and that's how many values we have, that's what we divide by. So 7 is equal to x plus 10 plus 4 plus 7 plus 12 plus 9 plus 4 plus 6. All divided by, how many numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All divided by 8. So we have to add all these up now. I'm going to get here. Okay, I have 8, 20. What's another quick one? We're going to have 13. 13 and 20 is 33. And 9 is 42. And 10 is 52. So we have x plus 52 divided by 8 is equal to 7. Alright, so first thing now, so we combined all of our like terms on top. I believe that's counted right. I made a mistake. I hope I didn't. Let's check this again. 10, 19, 31, 31, 38, 38, 42, 52. Good. So now we have to solve for this. First thing we're going to do is multiply both sides by 8. And we're going to be left with 8 times 7 is 56 is equal to x plus 52. We're solving for x, so subtract 52 from both sides now, I'm going to get 4 is equal to x. So we found our missing value is 4. Okay. So now we're going to do with frequencies. Okay, so this is a little bit different. So it says here, the data below represents the number of touchdowns thrown by Jason, the Center High School quarterback, during his football career. Okay? So if we look at this, calculate to one decimal place, if necessary, the mean, median, and mode for the number of touchdowns per game. Sorry about that. There we go, that should be clear. So we take a look at this. We have, first of all, I want to figure out how many games we played. We played 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We have 19 games played. Okay? Calculate to one decimal place the mean, median, and mode. Well, the mean, this is our whole population, so we're going to use the mu, because it's all the games played, is equal to, well, we have all together, we add all these up. I'm just going to skip all the zeros. So we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And we have to add all of these up. And there's also several zeros in there. We add all those up, and we have a total of 19. So when we add all those up, I'm going to end up getting 27 over 19. That is our mean, which is the same as 1.4. Okay? Now it says we have to also find the mode, the median and mode. So first, let's find the median. So to do the median, we have to rearrange these all out. Put them from largest to greatest or smallest to greatest. I don't want to go small. So we have 1, 2, 3 zeros. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I believe, ones. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 twos. Oops. We have 7 twos, so that is 6 and 7, and we have 2 threes. So that gives us 19. Good. Now we have to look at where the middle of them is. So let's start counts off. I'll count off first 2 at a time. So my mode, or my median, is equal to 1 touchdown, because that's the middle number. So my median is equal to 1. Now we're going to do my mode. Now if we look at my mode, we have 7 1 touchdowns and 7 2 touchdowns. Right? 7 games you did 1, 7 games you did 2, so we have 2 modes. We have 1 and 2, because they're tied for the most common. Okay? So here is, Suzanne drew a frequency table to represent the data. Here's my frequency table. Now show how Suzanne can use the data frequency table to calculate the mean, median, and mode for touchdown players. Well, this is so helpful for the mode, right? Well, but first we're going to, because the mode, we're going to start with mode, is just 7 and 2. It's just right there. It's given to us. These are the modes. Or sorry, 1 and 2, because those are the modes. It's just 1 and 2. They're given right there. Now we take a look at the median. Well, the median, we have 3, 2, and then the 7 kind of helps us out. The median is a little bit more difficult. Okay? So we know 19 items. So there are 19. There are 19 games. The 10th is the middle. So we figure out where the 10th is. 3 and then 7, well that's the 10th. The 10th game is 7. Therefore, it is 1. Okay? Or the 10th game is in the 7, which is 1. Okay? Now, let's find the mean. This is actually very simple. This helps us a lot. So the mean, we have 3 zeros. So we have 3 groups of zeros. Plus, we add this up. We have 1 times 7, because there's 7 ones being added. Plus, we have 7 twos. So 7 times 2, because that's 7 twos being added. And then we have 2 threes. And we have 2 of them. We add this all together. And all together we add this. The sum of this is 19. So we divide that by 19. And that's how we do that one, which will give us the same answer of 1.4, which makes it a lot easier, a lot faster. So if we have a lot of repetitions, something like this, making a frequency data table makes things a lot easier and faster. You could just, especially if it's in a frequency data table, it's so much quicker than writing everything out. So right now, I want you guys to try your best to look over questions 1 to 6. We'll continue on the next one. So this next part here is telling us how to use the stat function on our calculator. So it's the same idea, except the calculator does all the work for you. So here's a first illustration, and I'm going to go through this with you with my TI-83 calculator so you guys know what to do. So first of all, we're going to clear all of our entries by pushing second, we go second, and 4, enter. And we want to clear all entries. So second, push the plus sign, that's number 4, and push enter, clear all entries, done. So now we're going to access the list feature by pushing the stat button. So we go to stat, and we are going to edit our lists. Now in our list, we're in list 1. Whatever you do, never go up here and push delete. Never delete that list. Whatever you do, do not delete it. If you do, push clear here and enter, that's it. You could go up here, push clear, enter, but never push delete. Try not to delete them. So, what we're first going to do is we add in all of our data points. So we put in our list 1 right here. So we put 10, and then we have 9, 8, 7, 14, 13, 5, 11, and 16. Okay? Now we're going to exit the list by pushing second quit. Now the list is done. Okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to try and calculate all the measures. So we're going to go into the stat thing again, and we're going to go over to calculate. Okay? And we're doing one variable stats, because there's only one variable for this one. And yes, we want all of those. Enter, enter, and that gives us all of our stats. So just keep on pushing enter. And right here, it tells you your mean. This is our mean. This is the sum of our means. Okay, this is the sum of our mean squared. This is our standard deviation, so on and so forth. Okay? Now, we scroll down, it tells you a whole bunch more. If we scroll all the way down, it tells you how many numbers we pushed in, 9 different numbers. It also tells us our median is 10, and it tells us our max and our min. So the one thing it does not calculate is the mode. So mode is something we have to calculate, and that's by looking through. So it calculates everything but the mode. So classroom example number 5 says, state the median, mean, and mode for the example above. Well, let's find here. Right here it tells us our median is 10. We know our mean is the one with the bar on top because it's a sample size, so it's 10.3. And now we have to figure out our mode. Now the mode, we're going to have to look by our eye. So how many 10s are there? There's one 10. How many 9s are there? There is only one 9. How many 8s are there? Sorry about that. For the intercom going off. 7 means 113, 15. Okay? So there's our mode. Alright, now, here we're going to do this with a frequency. So a frequency table now is we have one variable, but we have two, we're going to be looking at two lists. So let's put back our calculator, and we're going to do this one. So we're going to clear this, and we have to go second, memory, and clear all. Okay, so all the lists are cleared. Now, let's go here, we're going to go to our stat, and we're going to edit. So in list 1, we're going to put all of this stuff, and in list 2, we're putting in that stuff. So we have how many games? We have 0, enter 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to list 2. We have 3, 7, 7, 2. Now, if there's nothing for one of these datas, don't leave that open. You have to put a 0 in there, okay? Now we're going to quit it. All right. Uh-oh. Did I clear it? I accidentally cleared it. Whoops. So we have to put it in again. 0. I'm just doing that so I don't accidentally clear it again. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to go over. We have 3, 7, 7, 2. Okay? So we're going to get out of there. Now we'll go back to our stat. And what do we have to do? We want to find the same thing again. So we want to calculate, it's one variable stats, but now we have list 1 and we have list 2. So to do that, we're going to put our comma in. That is oh. Okay, so to put in our comma, we are going to have to put that in here, and let's put in this again. Sorry, I made a mistake here, so let's go sec. We have to put in list 1, which is right there. We put second. List 1 is 1 and comma. Then we want list 2. Second. So there's two ways of doing it. You could either go with the way they have here, but on this calculator here, I have my list 1. So I'm going to go second, list 1 for my list, and then my frequency list is list 2. So that is my frequency list. So this calculator is a bit different, and there will give you your stats. Okay? So if it is a bit different, you have to put this L2 in your frequency list if you have a more modern calculator, if you have a TI-84 Plus. I just learned that here too because I was used to using a TI-83, which I had used before. Now, as we do this, we are going to now figure out, it says, compare your answers with example number 4. Well, my mean is 1.42. So my mean is 1.42. And my mode is, our mode we could tell from here is in there, 1.42. And my median, if we go all the way down, it is 1. So let's see, what were my answers from before in class example 4? I have right here, look at that, 1.4, and my median is 1. So it's the exact same thing. Okay? So that's another way of doing it, is just punching in there if you didn't want to do the calculations, and it's just a little bit faster. All right, so I hope you understand the lesson, and I'll see you tomorrow in class.